everybody. Well, today's video is going to be a first in a series of 3 of some of my favorite brushes. And what I decided to do is to separate it into my Hakuhodo brushes, my Chanel brushes, and then my all other brushes. And I thought this might be a little bit easier than trying to pick out my top favorites in face brushes or eyeshadow brushes or contour brushes or whatever, and that I'd be able to share them with you a little bit easier this way. So today I wanted to start with my Hakuhodo brushes. I'm going to share 9 brushes with you. Absolutely love the brushes from this company. I order them online through Hakuhodo USA. Have had no issues with the company whatsoever. The delivery is amazing. Their customer service is phenomenal. And I just have absolutely nothing negative to say about them whatsoever. I understand that Hakuhodo makes a lot of the brushes for a lot of the other companies, and when you get them and use them and see the quality of them, you really can understand why. I'll put a link down below to the Hakuhodo USA site, as well as when you go on and look on the site, click onto the video that has the factory in Japan of how they're made, and then all the different brushes that are available over there in the most phenomenal brush store that I've ever seen. I think if I ever ended up in that store, they probably would have to come and rescue me. I would probably just faint dead away on the floor. So anyways, today what I want to start with is the top of the line first. It's their S series, their flagship series. They're easily identifiable by the orange handles and the gold ferrules. They're also easily identified by the price. This is definitely a very expensive brush. Not the most expensive of brushes that I've purchased, but they are at the top of their line, but they are absolutely worth every penny that they charge. They're a phenomenally made brush. This one is the S110. Let me go a little bit closer again for you. It's the round flat blush brush. Quite the mouthful to say. This is a phenomenal brush. Absolutely love it. The one thing that I will tell you is that in noting the names of what they say the uses of these brushes are, remember that once they're yours, use them for whatever you want. I definitely change them up a lot depending on what the product is that I'm using. So I actually get a lot more use out of them, which means I probably don't need as many brushes as I have, but that's another story for another time. Absolutely love that brush. The next one that I really like is the S103. This is a pointed powder brush. Again, the same handle, the same gold ferrule, absolutely beautiful tip to it. And this, of course, gives you just a better ability to be more precise in your application of doing your blush. A phenomenal blush. This is also good if you want to use it for doing highlighting, even though it's a relatively large tip to it, but absolutely a beautiful brush. The next one is the S121G. Let me go a little bit closer there so make sure you can see that. This is the round and flat eyeshadow brush. This is great for packing the product down on your lid, also for going in if you want to do defining in your outer V because of the, here, let me go a little bit closer like this. Because of the taper of the brush and the point of it. I think what I'm going to do, of course, is do with the pictures that I do at the end so you can see these really up close and really appreciate the size of the brushes. My all-time favorite, as you guys already know, is the S142. This is what they call a round eyeshadow brush. I call it a blender brush. It is the most phenomenal blending brush you will ever have. This is just Google in your YouTube search this brush and you'll see how many people have it, love it, and can't stop talking about it. This is really a phenomenal brush. The next brush that I have is, I'm going to try to pronounce this, go easy on me, the Yachio. I think that's what it's called. Of course, you know I never get these names correct. This one is actually let me pull this. This is the actual one that's, so I would say the dupe to the NARS brush. This is called their large purple brush, and I'm not really sure, oh yes, now I do know why. I never really was sure why, but if you look very closely, there's like a little tiny purple hook at the end, which is I guess why they named it that way. Very similar to the NARS brush, except for you'll notice that the NARS brush, hopefully you'll notice, is more angled at the top, more of like a triangle type of shape, where this is more of a dome type of shape. Actually the same type of application as far as I'm concerned. I actually like this one a little bit better. I think this brush is a little bit softer. So for those of you that love the NARS, definitely check this one out. This is just a phenomenal brush. Out of the lesser expensive lines, I have the G series, the 100 and 200 series, the basic series. Basically the difference between those and the flagship are the handles and the ferrules. I think the performance of the brushes are exactly the same, and if you're matching up the natural hairs, and if you go on the website and you'll check, you'll see what a specific brush is made of, and then you can see it in the less expensive line. They're the same brush type, so I think they perform exactly the same. So my absolute favorite, besides the S142, is this one that I just showed you recently. Now these numbers, if there's two brushes that have changed, or perhaps there's a few more. They used to have an E number for a lot of them, and they've changed them to an H number. This is the H2259. It's a pointed powder brush. I think I told you that I originally bought this for doing for highlighting, for doing like the Laura Mercier, that one, and the Estee Lauder, and I know Guerlain is now coming out with a similar one, the ones with the rose on them and the beautiful copper colors. I bought it for that purposely, but this is a phenomenal, phenomenal brush for highlighting, for doing blush, for doing whatever you wanted to do. This brush is amazing. Love the flexibility in it, love the softness in it. Definitely this and the S142 are probably right up there. If I was going to do a top 5, this would be up there. I'm not doing a top 5 because I know that that will change before I know it. The next one that I want to share with you is the H2255. I'm reading down below if you see my eyes go down there, because I will never be able to remember all these numbers. It's a round eyeshadow brush, and I bought this specifically because I wanted you to see the difference between that and the S142. These are exactly the same hair type. They work exactly the same. I'll say that the S142 perhaps is a little bit thicker than this one, but other than that, the performance is equal. There's a huge difference in price. So if you want to try out a blending brush from Hakuhodo, I definitely would recommend this brush. It works beautifully. Absolutely love it. The only complaint I have about these brushes is the fact that on the less expensive ones, they don't put anything other than the Hakuhodo name on them, so there's no indication as to what the brush is, which is part of the problem of you either have to remember all the numbers or write them down as I just did. The next brush is the G529. It's a highlight flat brush. Another great brush. I bought this specifically to use with my Tom Ford to do the contouring because I thought it was similar to the brush that they were selling. The Hakuhodo brushes are far superior to the Tom Ford. I have one of the Tom Fords. I like it. I will not say that I love it. I think they're terribly overpriced. It is a nice brush. I was a little disappointed in the way that it washed, although it does perform beautifully, but I would not get another one of their brushes. This I absolutely love. Like if you want to do precise contouring with this, you want to do highlighting, even if you want to do, just put some blush on, sweep on your blush with this, you can do a lot of different things with this. This is absolutely a lovely brush. My last brush is the one, now this is another one that the numbers have changed on it. It used to be the E0108. I think that was a number actually that I gave you when I first showed it to you. And I believe they changed it because it's now the H2109. 109, does that ring a bell for anybody? The MAC 109, which this is an exact dupe for, except for the fact that it does not shed. Loved my 109, couldn't give it away fast enough, could not stand picking the hairs out of my product and off of my face. And I had a million lovely people suggest to me how to correct it. Forget it. Doesn't work. If you want something that is similar, or I should say superior to the 109, this is definitely the brush that you should get. This is a phenomenal brush. So that's it. Those are my Hakuhodo brushes. Absolutely love them. They are definitely a superior brush to most of the other brushes that I have. The quality, the workmanship in them, the wearability. I mean, I've had them, I've washed them repeatedly, I use them all the time, and I have not had one issue whatsoever. Love the website and dealing with them, love ordering from them. They're very quick, their customer service is excellent. I think they process them probably within 24 hours because it usually takes about 3 days for me to get the brushes. They do have a standard shipping price, I think, of $9 for the United States. I don't know what it is internationally, but of course if you Google their website and pick up on their international site, I'm sure all the information will be there. So that's it, guys. That is the first in my series of 3 of my favorite brushes, starting off with my Hakuhodo brushes, and the next video that I'll be doing will be my favorite Chanel brushes. Hope everybody's having a great week. Take care. Speak to you soon.